As of the current rotation for Trials Constellations, we can now clear all the bosses on Perdition difficulty. So let's go ahead and do all of that on auto. I have some manual clears up. This is just going to be autoing all of the bosses, and I'll talk about what level of blessing you need, then what units to use, all the good stuff. They've made it a lot easier to get higher blessing levels. In terms of like the gear required, you don't even need Max Awaken on some characters anymore. You do still need the units, that is a little bit of an issue, but let's see how much we can do. You'll also eventually want to build everything out if you can for the molas, but I think it's probably not worth building a character for the 10 molas if you're like missing like a character or something. So, first things first, ground rules for the blessings, just in case anybody's not familiar. It scores based on your character's level, awaken, artifact level, and equipment score. You don't need to mola them, so don't worry about that. Everything here is going to be done with level 10 or level 1 layouts, just 10 effectiveness for all allies. Of course, free attack is nice. You can pick that up if you have spare points. I'm just not going to be using it. So first things first, let's take a look at Magnar. For Magnar, level 3 Herais is the minimum that you need to work with. It just decreases his defense by 50%, pretty much gives you enough time to kill him. After that, you should pick these up if you need them. It's free damage, 30% damage to all allies, plus your front ally gets perma immunity and decreases or increases the target's skill cooldowns by 1 turn when using S3. Level 5 is what enables you to start soloing again, because a lot of people have noticed that the solo doesn't really work anymore. It's because they made it so that his rage activation condition is decreased the less people you have alive. Now, even if you only have 1 person alive, it'll always be 7, plus you get some free Constellation energy reduction. Level 5 is what you need to Fenne solo. We'll be doing it at level 3. Our team is Fenne, Montmorancy, Luluca, and Tywin. Tywin and Luluca are here for pretty much their death breaks. Tywin also being a knight. Brieg has a bit of issues where he kind of steals too many turns with S2, and then if you have him skills off, then he doesn't really... well, he just doesn't... he doesn't death break often enough. You can try using him, and if you're like manualing or something, just press S3 when it's up and don't use S2. Montmorancy's good enough healing, and then we have Fenne for damage plus healing as well. So first things first, Tywin, just make him super tanky. All of your units should be really low speed. I didn't really optimize his gear or anything. You want at least 130 effectiveness. His EE, I gave him the S1 death break chance EE. Then his artifact, I just gave him something random, honestly. I don't think his artifact matters too much, but something that helps with his bulk, or if your allies are struggling to survive, something that helps them survive, like Arius or something, could be useful. Next up is Montmorancy. Montmorancy, I also just kind of gave her spare gear. Her gear doesn't matter too much. She's really just here as a heal bot. Just don't make her too fast because you don't want her to steal all of your turns. And then besides that, the Ephra's doesn't really do anything that you should hit. Like, I think the minimum is usually like 100 in her stats to get the bonus effects. She's just here to heal us a bit. Luluca, I'm missing 1% crit chance, but 130 effectiveness. Her extra attack EE actually gives her higher death break odds than the one that increases her death break chance, which is a bit of a funny interaction. But make sure you're using the extra attack EE, and then I just gave her Destro Pen Gear with just any damage boosting artifact, pretty much. The replacement for her is really just anybody else that can like match her death break rate, because you don't want the boss to hit 100% too often. Then we have Fenne, who is just high damage, 85 crit chance. I gave her a little bit of speed. She probably doesn't really need this much. You can go higher damage and it's fine, and any damage boosting artifact. There is a consideration to give her immunity set, and this is just because the boss stuns you at the very start of the fight, which is kind of annoying, and immunity set does help with that. But I just gave her HP set. We will do fine without it. Let's go ahead and take a look. Luluca, you run her skills off. Her S1 is enough Death Break, and her S2 wastes a turn. There's a bit of RNG involved, just because Tywin and Luluca S1s are going to be not consistent Death Break, but it should be good enough for you to Death Break. We didn't get the double Death Break there, sadly, but when his Constellation energy hits 0, he gets Death Broken and you get a lot more damage in. There, hits 0. We're gonna get the Death Break on him. A bit unlucky there, we didn't get any Death Breaks even after Tywin and Luluca all went the attack 3 times and we got nothing. That's just going to happen, not much you can really do about that. Well, even with that, we managed to stay alive, and we're going to be able to kill him, no problem. So, that's Magnar. Pretty nice and easy. Of course, like I mentioned, if you need it to be even easier, just go ahead and fill these slots out. At this one, you can go back to the old method of just putting in like some imprints. I don't even have like all the imprints and stuff, but you can just put in some imprints and it'll be fine. We can just do this real quick. Luluca's not like an imprint, but she's gonna get obliterated soon, so... Also notice just how much damage Fenne is doing with all the damage boosts that we have from the Constellation energy. Like, even with our... Well, the dog is not imprinting us, but even with him not dying and stealing some turns, we're still just kind of killing this thing, no problem. Wow, that is crazy fast. This is actually my first time using level 5 Blessing. I was kind of hoping the dog would make it to the end, but I guess not. And here, we only have one ally left. And normally, when you only have one ally left, he just takes a turn every time you move, pretty much. But level 5 effect, we keep the King's Rage at 7, and it's pretty much a really fast and easy clear. So yeah, if you can hit level 5, Perdition is literally completely free. Next up, let's move on to Aquina. For Aquina, we're still using pretty much the same team as Nightmare. Charles, Fenris, Frieren, Roana. The key thing here is you want to make sure that you don't ever get your buffs removed. The key to that is Frieren S2, or you can use Idol's Chair on Roana, though the thing to keep in mind for that is you want to make sure that your other two DPS, something like Fenris plus Vivian, are both lower attack than Charles. Remember that Fenris gives himself greater attack buff, and Charles is a Gemini Knight who have horrifying stat lines. You do get 50% attack on Charles, but it's still not a lot. So minimum, you probably want level 3. I think level 3 is easy to achieve. You have a lot of options, like a bunch of free-to-play. That's not a free-to-play unit, but a lot of free-to-play units to like hit the required blessing level. Mainly this one here is really easy. And then past that, it kind of doesn't really matter that much. I mean, level 5 is just pretty much trivializes it, but it's already a pretty easy fight. So we're just gonna roll with level 3, and that's just because kind of the bare minimum for this setup, like this team, is already what you're going to need. So we're gonna take a look at their stats. Charles, give him Destro plus Pen, a little bit of bulk, only 85 crit chance, and then S2 smash damage, plus just any damage artifact. I just gave him this one for fun. There's not too much to say about his gear, it's pretty basic stuff. He does also have a team crit imprint, which you could use if you really need to. Next up is Fenris, who I actually probably should re-gear. I'm going to re-gear him real quick. I also stole his artifact, so we're going to give that back to him. Oops. The thing about Fenris is, depending on how you have him built, base bulk is actually kind of not great. Even with like this, it's a little bit sus. So we're going to just quickly do this. Give him like a little bit of bulk. Don't need that much crit chance. And okay, let's give him like a little bit more. Okay, something like this will probably be okay. I just wanted to give him a bit of bulk. So yeah, something like 1,000, 1,100 should be okay. Victoria's Flag is nice. Destro plus Pen. Is this reforgeable? I'm not reforging that. And then Frieren, your PvP build works fine. You don't have to like do anything. This is just random gear. It's fine. And then there is Roana, who I just also have on random gear, filler gear unit. And I gave her Shamatra Staff just for more healing from her S2.
자비로운 레코스시여, 우린 굽어 살펴서서 있고요. 오래돼도
아이테르님을 위하여 이 몸을 바치겠다. 누가 이렇게 가르쳤지?
There's really not much to say about this. It's the exact same fight. I'm just gonna let it play out.
手伝ってくれる。ここで終わらせるよ。 ザンベジュドラジル
이 승부의 결판을 낼 때가 왔군.
ゾルトラークこれでどう
빈틈투성이
빨리 와.
도와주지. 누가 이렇게 가르쳤지?
はっここで終わらせるよ
자세 다시 잡대.
안 봐줄 거야.
行くよボルザンベ
이 일격이 내 의지를 쏟아붓겠어.
빈틈투성이
성스러운 빛이 모두를 구원하길 미안하다 早めに終わらせないと
자세 다시 잡대.
これでどう
빛을 가져오는 검 앞에 무릎을 꿇어라. 누가 이렇게 가르쳤지?
성가신이 비켜.
ゾルトラークここで終わらせるよ
이 작은 화살빛이 저 꿰뚫을 때까지.
자세 다시 잡대.
行くよボルザンベ
빈틈투성이
なかなかやらないじゃあ応用といこうか
누가 이렇게 가르쳤지? 자세 다시 잡대.
はっここで終わらせるよ
빈틈투성이
자비로운 레코스시여 우린 굽어 살펴서서 これでどう
아이테르님을 위하여 이 한 몸을 바치겠다. 누가 이렇게 가르쳤지?
만만히 대가야.
できるよ
하겠네.
ここで終わらせるよ
자세 다시 잡대.
마지막 운발까지 포기하지 않을 거야.
Yep, that's literally the exact same fight. This is honestly probably autoable at level 2. It's not like they can kill you with Roana here. It's not like Charles is going to lose his counterattack buff, but level 3 is a bit comfier, I would say. So now for Herais. This one is also technically autoable at level 3 probably, but level 4 is way comfier. 100 effectiveness and 100 attack to your front row unit, plus 1 extra burn is a lot of stats. This kind of makes it so you don't really have to worry at all pretty much about your tuning. Level 5 pretty much trivializes it even more because the ads won't heal him as much, makes it much easier to get his HP down to the relevant thresholds to survive. So I would say level 4 for Herais if you can. Team Holiday Yufine, because she is the fire unit with a AoE S1 and also already has a burn on it too. We're using Researcher Carrot for extra burns. I think Robin would also be pretty good for this spot. And then we have 2 damage dealers. We have Schuri plus Tieria. Let's take a look at their gear. I didn't really tune this super well. I just kind of slapped gear on. Holiday Yufine, just gave her a bunch of attack, a little bit of bulk. I gave her a random level of speed. I don't know what the optimal one is. And then 4 effectiveness. So, like, you don't need that much. I actually don't remember exactly how much boss has. I think he has like I want to say 140. I'm going to go check. I'm pretty sure he has 140. Yeah, so he has 140. You get 10 from the Leo Blessing, and since you have 100 from level 4 for the front slot, you only need 30 effectiveness, which is why I have 39, I guess. I'm using Secret Scythe just for attack. Like Junkyard Dog, 2 burns, or where is it? Indestructible Gators is probably your best in slot, but just for consistency, for anybody following this, I'm going to use Secret Scythe just for the attack, but pretty much basic stuff. Next up, Carrot. I gave her Warhorn. Everybody gets a bit more attack. A little bit of bulk on her as well, about this much speed. Effectiveness, we get 10 from Leo, so you need 130, and then just a bunch of attack afterwards. Just standard debuffer build, just give her a bit of bulk. We're honestly getting him solo, you don't really need that much bulk, but just in case anything goes wrong. Schuri, our first DPS Daydream Joker, plus he got that buff that gives him S1 to kill, or get the Daydream Joker effect on his S1 too. Helps a lot with killing Herais. And then 85 crit chance. Max out crit damage is the important thing. You honestly probably don't need this much attack. You might want to use more speed. But I got him at this speed, a little bit of bulk, and this is fine. Tieria is on pretty much the exact same build. It's just max out her crit damage, 85 crit chance, a bit of speed, a bit of bulk. Didn't bother giving her any attack. Daydream Joker, and this is good enough too. Schuri skills off. His S3 doesn't have the Daydream Joker effect. You want to just only use S1. Holiday Yufine is our only cleanse, so it's a little bit awkward sometimes. You just kind of sit there with the stigma on, but you have so much burns from the level 4 effect that it doesn't make a huge difference. And then also Carrots doing a bunch of burns too. Tieria plus Schuri is enough damage for us to get through phase 3, even on full auto, and it also just... they do so much damage that we don't really take any damage during phase 1 or phase 2 either. Also some changes to these units, like Carrot getting the burn on her S1, and then the extra burn effect on the level 4 blessing makes it so you don't really need like 3rd burn unit to manage Herais. So now we're going into phase 2. As usual, it's more of the same pretty much.
특별히 고안하는 귀책을 보여드리죠. 맛있겠다.
There, you can see we just have so much burns and so much damage.
방해하지 마. 당신에 대한 분석은 모두 끝냈습니다. 이것만 먹고. 맛있겠다. 상황을 보아하니 제가 이길 가능성이 높습니다.
If there was one of the awkward timings, just having not exactly the ideal turn for her to S3, but it doesn't make a huge difference. Like, we'll be able to survive even with the stigma sitting on us for like a couple of extra turns.
당신에 대한 분석은 모두 끝냈습니다. 푸짐한 고기를 문어랑 새우까지 완전 내 취향이야. 맛있겠다.
Around here is like where probably a little bit more speed on Schuri would be beneficial, because it was very close for him to take his turn there. But even if you don't get like that S1 hit into the triple death break, it's still fine, because you're gonna have like Tieria S3 dropping a nuke on him anyways, which I think is up. Yeah, like that would have wiped out all of his HP, and it would have been no problem. So, nice and comfy at level 4. Got 2 bosses left. Let's take a look. For Ethel, Ethel is one of the more annoying ones. Go through here, so I don't remember which one it is. So first things first, we have to go to Herais. We have to take off Carrot. Then go back to the Blessing of the Stars. And then put her in. I only say she's annoying because you kind of need level 5 to auto. At least, like, auto would have it not be annoying to deal with. At level 5, it's like completely trivial. I would say just go to level 5. We're going to pretty much do that and then just auto. If you're only level 4, like let's say, like, because this one's literally just Slean and Adin, then you're using Adin. So like if you don't have Slean and you don't have like a replacement for Adin or something, I think like all of these are like pretty easy to do besides this one, then just make sure you like make them transform and you're good to go. Not needing them to transform means that we can auto easily because you don't have to actually hit them, you don't deal with targeting. So let's take a look at units. First up, new Kid Adin, it's literally just any like damage gear, destruction, and gave her my spare shepherd, and this is good enough. Also give her S3 damage, because why not? The 85 crit chance is enough as well. Pilot, also Destro, Pen, only need 85 crit chance for him, and I also just gave him a damage boosting artifact. Hellion Lua, I think you still ideally want like an AoE provoker, just because it helps a lot with like just managing some of their hits. You don't need to like perma provoke them. You can let them hit you a bit. It's just nice to make it so that they don't hit you every single turn. So you just give her some speed gear, and that's pretty much all you really need. Thanks to the blessing effect, we don't need a cleanser. So I just put in another DPS. I put in Closer Charles for fun. He's on completely random gear. I don't even remember what his gear is, but it's just random DPS gear with any damage boosting artifact. And being in the front is nice, because the boss will always hit her. Now, it looks like I didn't mention it, but Closer Charles is gonna be like literally any DPS, it doesn't matter. Now the boss is death broken, and we can start wailing on it. We'll let them hit us once, and you'll see that we're at 3. That's why you kind of do need Lua. That was their 3rd turn. They would have hit us 6 times. We would have been dead if we didn't provoke them at least once. And again, if, like, as always, just use Pillus and manually provoke them if you don't have Hellion Lua. Last boss, Rahel. For Rahel, you don't necessarily need it to be at level 5, but it's way comfier at level 5. At level 5, it's like trivially easy. You'll notice that all of these bosses have the same thing. Level 3 to clear, level 5 to trivialize the boss, with, I think, Rahel is actually kind of the exception. Or not Rahel, one of them is the exception, I don't remember which, but anyways, we're gonna do level 5 for the auto. I don't remember if it was Ethel or... I think it actually is Rahel. Anyways, we have G-Perk for our AoE stun. Arowell is here as a free-to-play stunner option, but I'm also using Sage Wall. Just have stunners, and then Genesis Ross as our DPS. General Purrgis, you just want like 100 effectiveness or so, and you're good to go. Again, I actually, same thing, I don't remember how much effectiveness she has. I'm gonna go ahead and check. Okay, she has 100 FRES, so Yeah, 100 effectiveness, or I guess 90 effectiveness, and you are good to go. It's just 90 effectiveness, some bulk, some speed. I have him at 213, which you might want to try and match. Oh, also, the ZE, I have him still just on his CR push wings. I don't feel like crafting another one, but his S3 -1 turn is really nice because that makes his S3 a 4-turn cooldown, and he'll use it every other turn instead of every 3rd turn. Next up, Sage Baal. The only thing we're really using him here for is his S1 sleep. You can also give him like Pistol Crown or something probably. And that would just give you extra like chances to decrease the Constellation energy. Debatable whether or not that's actually like good because it could mess with your timings, but we'll put it on. Just actually I'm gonna take it off. Because my Purrgis doesn't have an artifact either, and I don't feel like giving him one. Arowell, same thing, just give her like 90-ish effectiveness, and then just random gear. It doesn't really matter too much, as long as she has the effectiveness needed. And then Genesis Ross, you really need to focus on damage with him. I'm going to give him his symbol back. Fenne has it. Focus on his damage, because we're using his AoE S3. It full death pins, and you just want to make sure it one-shots everything. And besides that, should be fine. He'll use his S2 into S3 every single turn. All skills off. You could run him skills on, but he kind of just like wastes his S3. He doesn't really do anything with it. I might as well talk about the mechanics for this fight just in case anybody's like struggling with it. You need to like either soulburn or stun slash sleep slash fear the boss to decrease Constellation energy, which puts extra sweet dreams on the ads, and sweet dreams is like pretty much all of your damage onto her. So if you really need to, just stop the auto and soulburn a bit. You have, because you have the -1 turn cooldown every single time you take a turn, like you can Ras soulburn S2 every single time Ras moves. You can soulburn like Baal S2, you can soulburn G-Berg S3. There's a lot of soulburn sources. You can just time it a little bit if you really need to. Like there, we had pretty bad timing, but it doesn't matter because Ras has his S3 backup already. Phase 2 has new mobs. That little invincible mob doesn't take any damage unless he's stunned, which is why we have to make sure that Ras does enough HP to one-shot him. Or Ras does enough damage to one-shot him. And honestly, the hardest part of this fight is how long it takes, because Ras is just spamming all of his animations.
회개하기엔 늦었어. 이것이 나의 사명자, 너의 운명이다.
지키는 자의 힘. 무시한 대가입니다.
너의 죄를 심판해 주시. 명하노니 파멸하라.
도의를 벗어난 자. 합당한 심판을.
심판은 벗어날 수 없어. 세계는 너를 허락한 적 없어. 안심했네. 회개하기엔 늦었어. 이것이 나의 사명자.
Purrg S3 E -1 cooldown. We'll probably speed this up a lot because he would S3 a lot more often. And I guess Baal skills on, but I already left them skills off. We're just gonna leave it.
심판은 벗어날 수 없어. 세계는 너를 허락한 적 없어.
So this is one of the parts of like kind of RNG, because you can see she has a little bit of HP left because we didn't exactly land enough sleeps slash stuns. That's just a thing that happens. Even though it's like you kill Yaz a little bit faster, but you still have to wait for her to do all of her stuff. Like you have to wait for her to get her S3 back and everything. That is just going to be like RNG. Or it's not RNG, you have to wait for it. The part where whether or not you can get the sweet dreams on the ads is a bit RNG. In some of your worst case scenarios, you might find yourself having to like actually do something on the like on the very last phase or at the very last turn, because I think I'm not sure if we kill here. Yeah, so we left her with a little bit of HP. You have exactly one turn at the very, very end. Kill her. And last time I ran this, I killed her because I decreased her Constellation energy enough, and I guess I got one extra proc. This time we did not, and we will see if the timing lines up. In the worst case, I'm just going to manual it.
도의를 벗어난 자. 합당한 심판을.
Okay, we're good. He pressed F3. That's all we really needed.
심판은 벗어날 수 없어. 명하노니 파멸하라.
That is all of the Perdition bosses completely autoed. And again, gets easier the higher up you go on your blessings. Some of them just require the full blessings. There's not much we can really do about that. And you'll be able to fully fill out this tree next rotation. I think I'm missing, this is like 10. Like 10, this is like 20. And then this is 30, 40. That's exactly, yeah. So one more rotation, you'll be able to get your 30 molas. I am curious whether or not I can get 30 molas with my Pavel level 50 5-star awaken, or no awakens. Maybe I'll level 60 him if I need to. I don't feel like awakening him though. But yeah, that's it for Perdition full auto. There's some, like I mentioned, Rahel is a bit annoying to work with. There are ways to defeat her even at level 4 blessing. Level 5 is what makes it easy, but we'll take a look at some of that stuff next rotation.